to the party, but I'm just hitting stream on YouTube as well. We
Okay, can you hear
lost
me?
you. Yeah, I can. Yeah,
Yeah, so I have an issue where if I leave my computer on overnight,
yeah.
just this one, it goes and limits my upload connection to about zero point 0.2 megabytes a second, which is completely unacceptable. So I have to disconnect and reconnect.
Weird.
So silly. Anyway, let me go ahead and share my screen again.
Yeah, please do. That's better in section, but I can see something. So
All right, so oh shoot, I'm probably going to have to reconnect this sucker.
see how my GDK is performing while you do that. There must be a way to get it to run a bit like if you're not needing to hot reload and debug and do stuff like that. I always think there must be a trick, like some stuff that you can switch off, maybe even like some of the background services and other bits and pieces.
I have to restart my JDK, so
No
it'll take
problem.
another minute.
Hmm. Mine's going a bit faster now, but I guarantee as soon as I start recording, it will grind to a halt. Maybe if I go to a bunch of different pages, it'll like cache a lot of the assets and queries and stuff. It's going quick now, but I guarantee as soon as I start recording it, Hmm. This one was- that was consistent. Can I
Before I
share my
forget, did you
from?
have any progress on that other thing with the close thing with the SQL or not SQL with the Slack integration? The bot commands to for the old issues that should be closed.
So not hugely. Like the things that the main thing is that obviously, like with something like this, we have to figure out like where it sits in terms of priority. And because we don't have lots of people sort of trying like helping us with this at the moment, like it doesn't really make sense to focus on it. So now that you know what's what, then you're kind of unblocked. I suppose we should maybe document something if nothing else, um, because like you know how to reach out to a bunch of people essentially, and as we go forward, we can, if you're not already comfortable, like understand the process better of identifying who the right product managers are, or um, I don't know what we'd do, like engineering manager or whoever it is we might need to ping on the issues. But like what we're sort of trying to solve for is such a niche scenario, that it's sort of, yeah, it's a bit. And even when we start brainstorming about like, oh, what if we do this or we do this, um, there were like different ones where some you were sort of saying, oh, this is something we can close because it's fixed already or it's not relevant anymore. But then some of them weren't. Some of them were, oh, I've confirmed this is still a problem. I know we've got that issue. So, like, someone can work on it at some point. But I hope and I don't think that you're blocked at the moment, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah.
And
My,
again, if it's something that you want to kind of work with us on, that always helps as well. If you know what I mean, like if
yeah.
you can start working on whatever automation, I'm sure we did come up with some kind of plan. Um, then you can start on it, and we can certainly hold your hand and help out.
Yeah. I just want some way because I know the hackathon's coming up in what, 2 weeks?
Yeah.
It seems like we just had the hackathon.
I know these two have ended up really close together. Um, there's a couple of reasons which I can't particularly remember why. I think it's to do with where our financial quarters sit, dates of the release post, and Hacktoberfest. I think as well. I really wanted to try and squeeze it in October so it could be part of Hacktoberfest. So yeah, these two have coincided. In fact, I need to set myself a reminder because today is literally the cutoff for when the merge requests from the last hackathon needed to be merged. Um, Interested to see how did pretty well there, I think. Um, oh no, I lie. I lie. It was the 3rd of October that they needed to be merged by, so we've got a few more days. Are you able to check engine, or do you want me to dive into mine while you're
Go ahead and dive in. I'm still. I had reboot my GDK and it's misbehaving again.
okay? Okay, cool. So let's go into
I even added more cores to try and make it run faster and it made it run slower.
and move some stuff out of the way. Good. Okay. So yeah, I think I just found a little bug. The change I'm working on is to do with CRM. Um, not that long ago, I made it so that you could essentially, rather than CRM, so we have contacts and organizations, and rather than all coming from um, the root group, we tweaked it so that you could pull them from other groups. So you could say, actually, I'm going to store all my contacts in this contacts group. But as part of that, I'm working now on the MR to tweak the UI. And
That's a
what
premium only feature, right?
it's not, no, because I actually built this before I joined the team. So I built this as a community contributor. So it's part of the free edition, community edition, whatever you want to call it. That's interesting. So it looks like I'm sure it errored and gave me a message, but it updated anyway. Let me just try changing it back. And this is what I mean about where it just decides as soon as anyone's watching or you're recording, it just decides to go slow. And I have no idea why. It's almost like there's some kind of like recompiling or something going on, but
What happens if you do like a top on your terminal?
yeah, good question. So nothing's really bundle all of a sudden going crazy.
But bundles all front end, it shouldn't be back end, right?
Mm, I would have said the opposite. Bundle's back in, it's arousing, but why would bundle be doing anything? You use bundle to like execute, I don't know, like rake tasks and other stuff, maybe. But yeah, ES build is using a bit, but I'll keep that open while I'm doing stuff and see if anything
The bundle, I thought, affects all the CSS and JavaScript and stuff, right? Not the Ruby, right?
no, that's no, bundle basically installs all the Ruby gems. And I think you use bundle to like run RSpec, to run like rake tasks and other bits and pieces. Okay, so this finally loaded. So if I try and change this and save it, just got a really conflicting message before. Okay, yeah, so it said it couldn't be changed. But then I think it has changed it. What's right? I've switched it too much. It's not got the process name in there anymore, I don't think. Yeah. Yeah, bundle's the one that keeps. I'll have to find out. I wonder if that is background jobs. I wonder if I killed wonder if I could kill something to.
How many cores do you have dedicated to your? Well, you're running this native on your Mac, aren't you?
No, I'm running this inside a Docker container. And what is the configuration? 24 gig of RAM, 6 cores. That should be pretty good. I might bump it up to 8. Don't know if that's going to kill me or not. Weirdly, it doesn't seem to have. Oh, yeah, there we go. I imagine that's going to make the biggest difference in the world. Yeah, I'm sure I have a spec, which I can't check now because the container's not running. Come on. Yeah. So update service. So there should be an update service spec. Update service. So yeah, the update service does return false if group errors not present and or CRM update. And it says, oh yeah, what an idiot. I'm not actually returning. So I'm adding the error, but then my spec should be picking that up. Spec is late service spec. So existing settings. When issues don't have contacts, when issues do have contacts, it returns an error and does not update the CRM group. Yeah, the reason is I'm not doing a reload. Oh no, I am. A group is public group dot reload. So, params, source group ID is internal group. Just container again if I can find it. Big enough. Yeah, that's weird. I would have expected that test to fail. Weird. Right, is this back to life? Mm, 8-ish. Yeah, so we create an issue, create a contact, link the contact to the issue, then we execute the update service with the parameters trying to change the internal group. Sorry, change the CRM source group ID to the internal group ID. And then we check that it hasn't updated. So why is that test passing? Groups. Yeah, so in here, I should be doing a return. Yeah, why was that passing? That's bizarre. If I rerun the test now, I fixed it. Redoing that test. That's not good. But now hopefully that will do what I was expecting. So reload some of these. Okay. You made any progress yet, Jim?
No, my network stack is broke
Good.
for some reason, and it's trying to reinstall ASDF and everything every time I restart. So,
What operating system do you use?
Windows with JDK in a box, in
Okay.
VirtualBox. So,
Okay. Right. So okay, so it's come up with the error. And this time it hasn't updated. Okay, so that's definitely fixed that. I do need to do is
but
why am I
ASDF is like taking up 3 CPU cores in my virtual machine for no apparent reason.
and it shouldn't really be doing anything unless you're like updating or installing or doing something, right?
I turned it on. I think when it turns on, I think it does an update almost, I want to say, or something, because I noticed it
Okay.
every
Just gonna try to do space ID is group.find 33.self and descendant Jeez. So, do I want? Let's just do that. Okay, so there's a whole bunch. Issue ID. Okay, then let's delete all. Nice. So hopefully I've deleted all the relationships between the contacts and the issues in this group and all of its descendants. So now I should be allowed to change the contact source. Shouldn't get an error. Lovely. This is what I wanted to record, but I just don't have enough faith in it to keep running quick enough. Okay, so node and workaday. Yeah, bundle seems to be a big one. But what is bundle doing? Can I kill any?
There it goes.
I should be able to kill Rails background jobs, right?
Yes, in theory. Because you shouldn't be needing any background jobs.
Yeah, but that's about it. Okay, so I'm going to try see how many minutes I can get away with. Right, so we've got a root group, which is the source of CRM objects by default. So there aren't any CRM contacts at the moment or organizations. So we'll create an organization. I think that works. Yeah. And we'll create a contact. In fact, we should probably do two to really check that it's behaving itself. And it's hanging already. Nothing's really using any. Git's quite hungry. I wonder why Git's quite hungry. Let's just see if I can create a new. No. There's nothing really that much going on. I don't know why.
Git or Gitly?
Just Git. Right. Okay. This is even weirder. Right. Okay. So let's create me. And attach me to GitLab.
Yeah, that should have been an instant save.
And this is supposed to update as well. And the counts are missing from here. It's, oh, there we go. Just like in a really weird sort of.
It's just slow.
Yeah. Although even this, I would say this isn't actually terribly slow.
Wait. Go back to your.
This or?
Why does Node keep jumping up there? Hi.
I presume like ES Build and Node are like when I'm doing stuff, right? I don't know what they do, but I presume they're doing something. Let's see if I reload this page. If I get that same something went wrong. And no, it seems happy this time. It's just really Inconsistent. Okay. But now my recording's messed up basically because we interrupted do that. But hey ho, let's continue creating a nice environment. Did you say you're up and running again, Jim, as well? Or
Uh, I got the network issue resolved, and now it just says no such file or directory when I try and connect. So I'm
um
doing a doctor command.
so you mean you're still getting that V error
No,
or
I'm not even that far yet. So
okay, okay.
I think it just has it out for me in the or for a demo.
Just like
The
me, right?
demo gods don't have not blessed me today.
Absolutely. I'm gonna bring up the network before I reload this page, but I don't know that should be updating straight away, I think. Yeah, it's all good now. Bizarre. Right, so we got a couple of contacts. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna find another group. This is one of the hardest bits about I don't know, contributing, I guess, is like recreating and testing. So in my CRM group, have I got right? So that's not a good one to use.
So I just had a thought. So all of this stuff is done through there's a Redis cache, right?
Right.
Do you need to add your stuff to a Redis cache to try to help speed it up?
I don't know enough about what Redis is and does and when and why. And um, yeah, if I'm honest, um, I don't think we should be adding stuff to to Redis. Like I think it's no, I don't. I have no idea when it's appropriate. To be honest. Okay, this group has got loads of contacts in. So it's got 40 in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of these contacts and I'm going to create it. Um,
Uh,
far away.
yes.
Um,
Hi, Lee.
oh,
Sorry to interrupt you. I just wanted to know the session is being recorded. Can I see it later somewhere? Is it possible?
yeah, absolutely. On YouTube, I'll share it on Discord as well. We have the Community Coders for GitLab channel.
Mhm.
In fact, I'll share that now. So your channel, so copy that, put that into Discord. You'll find them under live, all the ones we're live streaming, and then there's a bunch under videos where we haven't streamed them live, but we've uploaded them afterwards. Let me
Got,
just drop that in the contribute channel on Discord now.
got it. Yeah. And you can call me Rio. That is easy.
Sorry,
You can call me Rio if that is easy.
Rio.
Yeah, Rio. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. Nice to meet you. And
The-
please shout
the-
if there's any questions. That's what we're
yeah.
here for.
Actually, I've not contributed to GitLab before, so I just wanted to see how it is done. So that's why I'm here.
No problem at all. Glad to have you. So I can't remember if we're joining on just the email. Yeah, I think we are. I think it's just the email, but I'll match them anyway. So and new contact. Yeah, so we've got 41 contacts in this group. And 2 in this group. Joe exists in both of those groups. Yeah. But Lee only exists in this group. So what I'm going to do is, in fact, I'm going to just do one more. This is weird. I think there must be an error happening here. No, there's apparently not, but I don't know why the draw isn't popping out like it should be. Yeah, I'm going to create one more contact. I'm going to attach. So, I'm going to attach Joe and Lee to an issue, and I'm going to not attach Jane to an issue, and then I'm going to move this group, and I'm going to check that. So Joe already exists in this group, so he shouldn't need to be moved across, but Jane and Lee don't, so they should get moved across. And the issue should still retain their contacts after being moved across. So wishful thinking maybe, but and as soon as I've attached these contacts, I shouldn't be able to change this setting here. So we need 2 issues. I'll add Lee to this issue. Perfect. I'll add Joe to this issue. And then hopefully, if we move rock, paper, scissors, so we move it into, what was the group that I was, oh yeah, so first we want to check that we can't change this. No, good, perfect. And then I can't remember the group we were looking at a minute ago. I think it was commit 451. So, and there are 41 contacts in there. So if we change this, we move this into that group. Now I'm going to get really confused when I'm using my GDK and I don't have a Flight.js group at the top level anymore. Okay, so it moved. That's good. When I reload this, I now have 43. Amazing. So that should include Lee. Yeah, it should include Joe. Yeah, and it should include Jane. Amazing. And I think it was Lee that I attached to an organization. So that doesn't look like it's worked. Sort of if the organization came across GitLab, it did, but I'm not attached to it. So there's a little bug there. And if I go to,
All right, Lee, I'll have to talk to you next week and see if I can get that issue resolved next week.
yeah, no worries. As I say, definitely GDK update would be my first. So I know you said you've tried that one. Then there's a temporary folder that you can basically delete everything from that will kind of force some kind of rebuild. And then a GDK tail Vite would be another one to see what Vite is doing. But update us in Discord and we'll go from there.
Okay. Yeah, I'll attach more pictures and see what I can do to that image. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Jim. Cheers. Catch you later. Bye. So let's see if my contacts are still attached to these 2 issues. Yeah. Joe is still attached to that one. And Lee is still attached to that one. Nice. So the only thing that didn't seem to work was it didn't take the organization. So it copied the organization across, but it didn't update. So that logic is in contact. And it's a rather crazy bit of SQL. So first of all, we take the source organization. So we take the old group ID and we join it to the target organizations, where the target organization group ID is the new group ID, yeah, and the lowercase of the names matches. And we say where target organization ID is null. Yeah, so we're basically inserting into the target all organizations that don't already exist in there. And we return, though I don't know that we really need to, the ID and their name. So we then create an org map by selecting the source organization ID as old ID and the target organization ID as the new ID. So the source organizations group is the old ID, the target organizations is the new ID, and again, we join them where the lowercase name is the same. Cool. So then when we insert into the contacts table, we insert group ID, organization ID, right? So the new, so yeah, so we have got orgmap.new ID in here. So we're taking everything from source contacts. We're left joining on target contacts. Same logic there. We're saying where the source contacts. Source context, group ID. It's old group ID, target context group ID is a new contact. We're joining on the email, and then we're joining in the org map, where the org map, the old ID is equal to the source contacts, the organization ID. Yeah, that looks good to me. So I don't know why that failed. I'm guessing it's not going to be easy to to debug. Let's just triple check. The database. So the contact, I think it was Lee that was attached to GitLab. That's contact ID 329. So it's, yeah, perfect. So I would say that the organization ID is blank or null. But I don't really know why. It's going to be incredibly hard to track. I actually need to do these as a common table expression. I feel like this could be a separate query to insert. Yeah, that could be a separate query. But this, I think, does probably want to be a common table expression. Unless I combine these two things. I could, yeah, I could possibly try tweaking that. So and then I might even be able to make this, write this in Ruby rather than raw SQL. I'm not sure how simple that would be. Right, I think I'm going to wrap it up there because it's not going to be straightforward to make those changes. Thanks both for joining. If you have got any questions, or if you've got any questions now, fire away.
Lee, I have one question.
Yeah, of course.
So I'm using Gitpod for the development. And
Yep.
right now, I have access to all the community folks.
Perfect.
But when I open my VS Code, I'm right now I'm currently working with the GitLab CLI. So how do I change the workspace to, like, let's say, some other repository? Because that's not clear to me right now.
So my understanding is that you essentially find the relevant project. So if you want to develop on the GitLab community fork, then from here you would launch Gitpod. Or if you want to work on the CLI, then you go into the
I want to work
CLI.
both the CLI as well as the front end, both.
Okay, so you want to work on both projects. So let me launch, because I guess this one's a bit quicker. How long it'll take to spin up.
So
yeah,
do you recommend using Gitpod or like local development?
Gitpod's great if you either want to be. So we say with the monolith, the main GitLab project, like there's a lot of dependencies, and it's quite complex to get the development environment set up, like because it uses ASDF or MISE, and then you've got Postgres and you've got Ruby, and there's so many different dependencies. We have been spending a lot of time improving and making that easier recently. So we've got the GDK in a box. So you can use GDK in a box to kind of run it in more of a container, like a virtual machine or a container. But there are some like performance, I don't know what you want to call it, like some repercussions of doing that. So if you've got a powerful machine, like definitely a Mac with like M1 or above, then the container option is probably a really good one, or you're more than welcome to do the local installation. But it's just one of those where if you start to, if you're working on another Ruby project, you might find that all of a sudden you start getting conflicts with different versions of Ruby. The CLI project's probably a lot simpler to develop locally. I think it probably only really relies on Golang. I could be wrong. Let me see.
Yeah, so it's mostly Golang.
We have a tool. Yeah, we've got tool versions. Also Val and Golang. So there's very little sort of dependencies. I definitely would tend to lean towards using MISE rather than ASDF now to manage dependencies. Don't know how easy it will be for me to Google that. Yeah, here we go. So it's backwards compatible with ASDF, but we're sort of favoring it a bit more now. So the CLI I would almost definitely do locally. It probably
Okay.
doesn't demand or require a high spec machine. But the monolith, it depends on your machine specs and how comfortable you are with sort of switching between development environments. And definitely consider the GDK in a box option. But looking at Gitpod, if you were working on both the projects, I think that you can sort of stop a workspace, or you can open the dashboard, and then from the dashboard you'll see, when you've got multiple workspaces.
So we need to create a new workspace for the other repository.
I think so, and I think by default, if I was to back in here, I was to go back to this and then try and launch that. Yeah, it would by default, it would try and launch a new workspace there as well. So, and then you can just toggle between them here.
Got it. Yep. Now it makes sense. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, good luck. And you joined the Discord, have you, Ria?
Yeah. I got the community access from you only, but I've been not contributing, because I was busy with my job. But
no, that's totally fine. No pressure to get something in tomorrow or the day after. Take your time, and just know that we're here, whether it be on these sync sessions or on Discord or ping us on issues, whatever works for you.
Yep, makes sense. Got it. Thank you.
Great stuff. No worries.